Hello, welcome to another video and welcome to an unhaul. It has been a hot minute since I have done an unhaul and it's kind of overdue. So I decided at the start of this year that I would not put myself on a book buy ban as such, but I would kind of set myself like a target of I had to read 3 books before I could buy one. And I didn't count things like subscription box books, or books gifted to me from publishers within that. It was only books that I went out to a shop and bought with my own money that counted in this. In January, it's pretty good. February, pretty good. In March, I was not good. In March, I bought 20 books with my own money. I did not read 60 books. Because I have to read 3 times the amount of the books that I read. So I bought 12 books too many. This is where the maths comes in. So to get myself back on track, I need to unhaul 3 times that many, so 36 books. And rather than me running around shelves like I normally do in my unhauls, I have already got all of my books. They are piled up underneath you. And I'm going to go through the 36 books that I am unhauling. So let's go through the 36 books that I am unhauling today. This was actually quite difficult because I feel like my bookshelves are pretty tight at the moment. There isn't really very much on my shelves that I'm like not interested in. So it did take a while to find all 36. I could find about like 10 quite easily. But after that, it was getting quite tricky. And honestly, the last 10 books were very, very hard to find. So let's start off. These are in no particular order other than just accessibility from the piles that I've got piled in front of me. So first off, I'm going to unhaul 6 Days by Danny Atkins. This is an ARC copy. This came out in April 2022. I have not read it. I got this copy when I was at YALC, which would have been in 2022. Like I said, I've not read it. I don't actually think I've got an interest in picking this one up now. I've not really ever seen anybody talk about it, so this one is going to be unhauled. Where am I putting my unhauled books? I'm going to just throw them on the floor. Next, I am unhauling 2 books by Donna Leon, so Beastly Things and The Jewels of Paradise. These 2 and these next 2 as well actually came to me via my grandmother. So about 12 months ago, my gran, who has got dementia, went into a care home, and so all of her house was packed up. My gran had always been a big reader, and I took a few books, and again, so I had a look through the books that she had got to see if there were any that I was interested in. These 4 are the only ones that I took because I was interested in, but again, really, these aren't books that I'm going to ever read, and they've not been gifted to me from my gran. They don't really have any special meaning to me other than the fact that they used to belong in her house and now they belong in my house. So I am going to pass these ones on to somebody who will enjoy them more. The Donna Leon books I think are following the same detective based in Italy. I don't really know very much about them. I think these would be quite fun, quick thriller reads, but I have 2.5 shelves of thriller books that I am more interested in. That I'm getting rid of are Blackberry Wine by Joanne Harris and Meridon by Philippa Gregory. I believe I have read this book before many moons ago. I have read Chocolat and I don't remember loving it. Again, I think I read Chocolat when I was travelling back in like 2010. I have really no memory at all of it, and I'm fairly certain I read Blackberry Wine back then as well. I don't think I'm interested in reading this again. And I have read a few books by Philippa Gregory, so I have read The Other Berlin Girl and a few other books in that series. I don't think that I am interested in reading Meridon. In fact, looking at it, Meridon is book 3 in a trilogy which included Wideacre and The Favoured Child. I'm fairly certain I have actually unhauled both of those books at some point, so these two are going to better homes as well. Next, I'm gonna leave that pile. Actually, I'm gonna move on to a different pile because that pile is going to be fairly contentious. Let's go for this pile. It's fairly. Next, I'm unhauling Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth. I found this in a charity shop for like £1.75, apparently, according to the sticker that is still on the back. And I bought it because I recognised the name Veronica Roth as of the author of Divergent, and it's a hardback, and it was £1.75. I believe this is a sci-fi. I haven't really heard anybody talk about this. I didn't really love Divergent, so I'm also not really reading very much YA anymore. This can go to a better home. Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. This has been on my TBR since I believe 2019, and I have never once picked it up. I've not even gone, maybe I want to read that this month. No, changed my mind. I've not even looked at it. So I don't think I'm going to read this book. Someone else will. Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart. I found this in Poundland and I bought it because I recognised the name E. Lockhart. I don't know what it's about. A runaway heiress, an orphan, a cook and a cheat. And there's two friends. Jewel is a fighter, a social chameleon and an athlete. I don't think I'm interested in this one, and I don't think I'm going to read it. I was debating unhauling the other two E. Lockhart books I own, which are We Were Liars and Family of Liars. I haven't, because I think I'm more likely to read those ones than I am this one. Great Circle by Maggie Shipstead. This book sounds beautiful. It's a historical fiction about a woman who flies around the world, I think. From the night she is rescued as a baby out of the flames of a sinking ship to the day she joins a pair of daredevil pilots looping and diving over the rugged forests of her childhood to the thrill of flying Spitfires during the war, the life of Marion Graves has always been marked by a lust for freedom and danger. This sounds fantastic, but it won the 2021 Booker Prize. The fact I have it in hardback suggests that I bought it in 2021 or early 2022. It is quite a chunky historical fiction. I don't think I'm ever going to get to this book. So someone else will appreciate it more than I do. Okay, we then got Amazing Grace Adams by Fran Littlewood. This book I worked on last year, I believe. And it does sound interesting. It follows Grace Adams, who is I believe she's a divorced mother. She's on her way to a child's 16th birthday party, and she basically just almost has like a breakdown. She stops the car in the middle of the road, gets out and just leaves, and is then on a journey to find herself and find herself as a woman rather than the terms put on her as, mother, divorcee, wife, ex-wife. I do think it sounds really good. I think it sounds really interesting. When I spoke to Fran Littlewood, I was intrigued by this book, hence why I kept it. I was sent it because I was interviewing the author anyway. But I was like, yeah, I actually will read this. Now, I don't think I'm going to get to it. I don't think I'm going to be picking it up anytime soon. It was been on my TBR for March. I didn't get to it. I don't think I'm going to read it. So I think someone else will enjoy this a lot more than Hedge Witch by Skye McKenna. This one is an ARC, but it is an ARC that I found in a charity shop. I will not be returning it to a charity shop. I'll be returning it to a little free library because you're not supposed to sell ARCs, not even in charity shops. This one was really cute. I really enjoyed it. It's a middle grade book about witches, and about a girl who goes to stay with her grandmother and discovers that she is a witch. I think this one was absolutely brilliant. I really enjoyed it. I don't think I'm going to continue the series. I don't actually know if book 2 has come out. If I saw book 2 like in a charity shop or for cheap on Kindle or something, I probably would pick it up. But I'm not going to go out of my way to find it. And yeah, it was nice. I really liked it. I think someone else is going to like it more. Similarly, Fireborn by Aislinn Fowler. I really liked this one. It was really good. It's again another middle grade. It follows 12 who is adventuring across the Great Frozen Forest, and it's a really fantastic fantasy adventure. I would read a sequel if I found it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to look for it. I don't know if there is a sequel out yet. I think that this one is brilliant, but I think someone else is going to enjoy it more than me. Next I have got 2 arcs that I am unhauling, which are Transmogrify and Magic Has No Borders. These 2 are both short story collections, which are not formats that I particularly enjoy. They are both from Harper Teen and they both came out in May 2023, so they're both 12 months old. Transmogrify follows, I believe, 14 fantastical tales of trans magic. I did really want to get to this, but like I said, I haven't. I don't really enjoy short stories, but I do think that there will be people who will appreciate this a lot more than me. And Magic Has No Borders. This is a collection of South Asian folklore, legends and reimaginings. Again, I wanted to get to this, but short stories are not something I enjoy, so I haven't got to it. I think there will be people who will enjoy these more than me, rather than them taking up space on my shelves when they're just not a format that I enjoy. Okay, I know the angle has changed. I decided I was too high up and then I knocked the whole camera over, so it's different. The next pile that we are going through, Never Never by Colleen Hoover and Taryn Fisher. This is a bind-up of 3 novellas. I don't think I'm ever going to read them. I don't really have any interest in them, if I'm totally honest. So I think someone else will be more interested in these than I am. If this has been on my shelves for about a year, and in that time I've moved away from YA and I've kind of moved away from reading Colleen Hoover as well, so I don't think I'm going to read these. If I ever do decide I want to, I do believe that they are all on Kindle Unlimited as well. Next, The Way of the Argosy by Sebastian D. Castell. I have not read the Spellsinger series. I don't really have any intention of reading the Spellsinger series, so therefore I don't actually know if this is a prequel or a after a sequel or something. I know this is, I think this one and the one after it is it's connected to the Spellslinger series. I don't think it is part of it. I think it's like an interconnected series. I don't really know, but I'm not going to read it because really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 books I'd have to get to before going to this one. I'm not interested in that. I kept hold of this one because I think you can read it without reading Spellslinger, but I don't know if I'm right. And like I said, I'm not really interested in it anyway. So next, a series that I am unhauling. I'm going to unhaul the Guinevere Deception trilogy. So this is the Guinevere Deception, the Camelot Betrayal, and the Excalibur Curse. These are all by Kirsten White. I bought these at Yalk in 2022. It annoyed me from day one that these 2, books 1 and 2, are the same size. Book 3 is huge. Like, it is bigger. I don't understand why. So that's just irritating. They are all really lovely floppy paperbacks and they've got that really lovely like soft feel, but I don't need to have them on my shelves just because they feel nice. That doesn't make sense. I also don't think I'm ever going to read them. I've not heard the best things about this series, so I just don't think I'm ever going to get to them. The Guinevere Deception was actually on my self-destruct list for 2024, but I have decided it is destructing earlier. I'm not going to get to this series, so I've then got 3 sci-fis. So I've got Crown Chasers and Throne Breakers, which are a duology. This is a sci-fi duology. I've read the first chapter of this one and it kind of gave me the vibes of Aurora Rising, which I did really, really love. But I just don't think I'm actually going to ever read it properly. So I don't think I'm going to pick it up. And again, I don't need the sequel because I don't think I'm ever going to read these. I do think that this is I've not really heard anybody speak about these, but I do think that they are a series that a lot of people would enjoy. Particularly if you liked things like Aurora Rising. I've then got The Memory Index, and for the life of me, I have no idea where this book came from. I think it was sent to me unsolicited because I've definitely never bought it, and I don't know why it is in my possession. It is a sci-fi, but what I really dislike about it is, I don't know if you can tell. Can you tell there on the side? It has deckled edges. I detest deckled edges. I really, really hate deckled edges. I find them so uncomfortable to touch. I find them uncomfortable to look at. I find them hard to turn. There is nothing that I like about deckled edges. So I'm getting rid of this one. I'm never going to read this book. I don't know where this book came from. It owes me nothing. It's going. So the next books are the slightly more controversial ones. We'll start off with this pile. This month I read Hooked. I did not enjoy Hooked. I think I actually don't enjoy dark romance. So I am unhauling the Never After series. I bought the full series on TikTok Shop when they had a sale on, but I don't think that I have any interest in reading anything else in this series. I don't actually think they are connected at all, but I'm not interested in these ones. I'm going to unhaul these. They will go to a much better home than me. The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. I really enjoy the Cruel Prince series. I read this one when it came out and I didn't really love it. I've been holding on to it because I thought, well, I know there is a sequel and that might save the duology. When that one came out, Prisoner's Throne, my friend Juliana read it and she said it doesn't really save the duology. She was like, it's fine. Because I wasn't a fan of this one, and from Juliana's review, the things that I didn't like in this one are not fixed in book 2. I'm not going to read book 2, therefore I'm going to get rid of this book. Cruel Prince ends with Queen of Shadows. Is that what it's called? The Cruel Prince ends with Queen of Nothing, and that's it. Wears hat down and happy, so that one is going. This month I also read Kingdom of the Cursed. I did not enjoy Kingdom of the Cursed, so I DNF'd the series, which has now fallen all over the place. So I am unhauling all 3. Kingdom of the Wicked, Kingdom of the Cursed and Kingdom of the Feared. Now, this one is the Very Lovely Fairy Loot edition with very beautiful sprayed edges. Book 3 is the Very Lovely Fairy Loot edition with beautiful sprayed edges. Book 2 is not. So I'm a little bit kind of stumped with these ones because I don't really know if I'm going to be able to sell them as a set, because book 2 is not the special edition, but also I don't think I'm going to be able to sell them separately. I'll probably be able to sell book 1 separately, but you know, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with these ones. I'm going to attempt to sell them. Basically all of my books will either be going on Vinted, into a little free library or a charity shop. But yeah, unhauling that series. And then the last few, which again are slightly controversial ones, these are my book box books that I'm getting rid of. Shanghai Immortal by A.Y. Chow. I have not heard anything good about this book. yeah, I've not heard anybody say anything good, so I'm not going to read it. That is that. The Book of Night by Holly Black. Same. I have not heard anybody say anything good about this book. So I'm not going to read it. I've been keeping this one for about, I don't know how long it's been out now, over 2 years. And because I was like, well, I know everybody hates it, but maybe I'll like it. I want to see what's going on with it. Yeah, I'm never going to read it. Even if it's fantastic, I'm still never ever going to pick this book up. So it can go. Zara by S.J. Jones. I have no interest in this book. The cover doesn't do it for me. The synopsis does absolutely nothing for me. I'm not going to read it. So it can go to a better home. The City of Stardust by Georgia Summers. So this book, I did start reading it last month. I don't think I'm going to ever continue. I read the first about 50 pages of it, and a lot of people I know have DNF'd it, and the people who have enjoyed it have said it's very similar to The Starless Sea, The Night Circus, those kind of like lyrical, all vibes, no plot books. I detested the Starless Sea. Like, it is still it's a book that I am really upset with myself that I finished reading it. I hated it. So if it's being compared to The Starless Sea, that does not sell it to me. This one can go to a better home. Son of Blood and Ruin by Marilee Lares. I have no interest in this book. This is a Zorro retelling, I think. It doesn't do it for me at all. Not interested. Someone else will like it. And finally, The Luminaries by Susan Dennard. Again, I have no interest in this book. I've read the Truth Witch series by Susan Dennard, and it started mediocre and it went bad, to be fair. So I don't think that I am going to read this book. I don't think, it's an author that I haven't enjoyed in the past. The synopsis doesn't do it for me, so it's going to be unhauled and rehomed into giving a better life. So that was my 36 book unhaul. I am now back to zero. I can start in April with, again, reading 3 books and buying 1 book. Let's see how well that works. But if you like this video, please do leave me a like, comment and subscribe down below. I would say, let me know if you think that I shouldn't have unhauled any of these books, but to be totally honest, they've all already gone. And there are maybe 1 or 2 that I would consider sort of saving and bringing back, but the vast majority of these ones I have no interest in anymore. But yeah, let me know if you had read any of these books and if you think I'm making any mistakes. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!